In this edition of UTA Spotlight, we showcase an event that highlights student businesses.
Additionally, we dive into jazz on campus.
Lastly, the Lady Mavericks basketball postseason run. Welcome to UTA Spotlight, where we bring UTA highlights to you. I'm Ben Gervasi.
And I'm Kimberly Oriana. Thank you so much for joining us.
UTA takes its time to continue celebrating and giving opportunities to student artists with a mini student art market held in the Kappa Court. Reporters Ophelia Jamison and Ashley Mitchell took a look at the event. Student art and creativity abound on campus, and many students are looking to sell their crafts. So the university hosts pop-up events titled Mav Markets, usually once a semester. However, due to the popularity of these events, the university has given students more frequent pop-up opportunities. Dipping its toes in with the Kappa Art Market, Mav Market vendor Lizette Tomeo gives more insight into their experiences as a vendor.
I started doing the art markets last year, and initially it was very small and slow because a lot of students weren't aware that art students, sell their artwork. But recently it's actually been booming, and I feel like a lot more people are appreciating the arts and buying more.
The Mav Market will make its return as a mainstay of UTA's large events, and its continued growth seems to be an absolute pleasure for the artists on campus.
Music lovers, this next story is for you. The annual UTA Jazz Festival was held in the Bluebonnet Hall over the weekend. UTA Spotlight's Jason Hawley caught up with one of the grad students to tell you more.
He was chasing beautiful melodies. It didn't matter if it happened.
Over the past weekend, the UTA Jazz Department hosted UTA Jazz Festival March 21st and 22nd at the Rosebud and Bluebonnet Hall rooms in the University Center. I was able to catch up with one of the grad students who was putting the festival on.
Well, this is annual festival, has been running for 50 years. Actually, this year is our 50th anniversary. We not only promote jazz around the state, but it's a competition of middle schools, high schools, all categories all the way from 3A to 6A. We just do a competition throughout 2 days. Well, it's really cool to see kids from middle school playing jazz, and then this is my second year doing this festival. Not as a coordinator, but participating in the festival, and I have recognized a couple of kids that came last year, and I can see the improvement. And me as a musician and as an educator, always it feels like, oh man, students are in progress, and it shows us that kids care about this music.
From the UTA Jazz Festival, I'm Jason Hawley.
To keep up with all things jazz, check out their Instagram at UT Arlington Jazz at UTA Jazz Department.
Last week, UTA held its annual Doggy Days event, where students had the opportunity to meet some of the amazing dogs at UTA's library.
Here at UTA's Central Library on the 6th floor, students have filed a line for Doggy Days.
We are with Alliance for Therapy Dogs, and we have been doing that for about 2 years. This is almost our 2-year anniversary at UTA, and we love doing it, and we volunteer our time here at schools and at hospitals.
This event gives students a little bit of home away from home.
I just miss my dog. It's just like, you're stressing about tests and stuff, and it is like a good piece of home here,
Dogs are those creatures that you can always go and chill out no matter whatever is going on with your life, and I think having that support is something that everybody loves and everybody should get to experience. So yeah, I think just having that space to chill out and relax is a nice thing for me to have.
Oh man, when you feel alone, it's just like your best friend, your companion, and it's just like they're literally therapy to you. Like when you feel sad or alone, they're just a great companion.
We also got to speak to one of the stars of the show. So Andy, what is your favorite part about UTA?
Come to Doggy Days, and I guarantee you will leave with a new friend. Trent Harris, UTA Spotlight.
If you are interested in attending Doggy Days, you have one last chance in April.
The Lady Mavs came up short in the WAC championship tournament, but their season did not end as they grab a spot in the WNIT. The Lady Mavs hosted in-state rival Incarnate Word at the CPC last Thursday night, the opening round of the Women's NIT, the first postseason appearance since 2019. The crowd was rocking the CPC as Coach Turners and others were in attendance to watch the Lady Mavs score early and often. Talia Clark led the way for the Mavs with 22 points. Avery Brittingham tagged along for 16 points, 9 rebounds as UTA defeats UIW 78-52. Maverick Media's own Jason Hawley was in attendance and met with UTA's athletic director, John Fagg, to talk about the impact of the postseason.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Postseason basketball at CPC for the first time in like 8 years. Women ranking finals, played their butts off. Now we have great news. It benefits our program because we get glacier basketball, extra practice, tournament play, news, and you're done. And then it benefits the community and the university by having another day, another chance to rally behind our team and our school. Yeah, go Mavs.
Fast forward to Monday, the Lady Mavs took the trip up I-35 to Denton to take on the Metroplex rival. Second round of the Women's NIT tournament at the Super Pit on UNT's campus versus the Mean Green. Students and teachers made the 40-minute drive from UTA to support their Mavs. The defense came out strong, led by senior Avery Brittingham, blocking the Mean Green 6 times on Monday. The energy from the crowd carried the ladies to an early first quarter lead. Second quarter, the frustration from the referees' inconsistent calls leaked onto the court as the Mavericks were called for the technical foul, boosting the Mean Green to a 24-5 run to the end of the first half. With President Cowley and Athletic Director Fagg in attendance, the offense got going behind senior Talia Clark as they cut the lead down to 5. At the end of the day, the hole was too deep to crawl out of as the Lady Mavs fall to North Texas 78-67. Here's what Sharika Wright had to say.
Well, just the competitiveness. I felt like all season long, we were able to compete and fight through that. I thought we just got a little flat. I thought that we kind of allowed this year to kind of take us out of who we really, really were. And I just told us at halftime that we're better than that. I challenged our group. It's not fair to our fans to play that way. They got to compete at a high level. And it's crazy. You turn around, you have a 30-point quarter, which we gave them a 30-point quarter in that second quarter. But it's just understanding the moment and opportunities. And then we fell apart there. And it could be for fatigue and some other things like that too. But again, like I told them, it's a will. Competitors don't get tired.
The Lady Mavs ended their season 19-14 and a runner-up in the WAC conference, so their future is bright for next season.
That's all we have for today for this edition of UTA Spotlight. To stay up to date with us, please follow us on Instagram at MavMediaUTA.
And don't forget to subscribe to our Maverick Media Club YouTube channel so you never miss a highlight again. I'm Ben Gervasi.
And I'm Kimberly Oriana. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.